Good afternoon, everyone. Today's Wednesday. It is week 2, and as you can tell, it's a very bright day today. We are blessed with spring here in the Lynchburg area, and I hope it just lasts. You never know when winter will return, even in April, but for right now, we are really blessed with some spring weather, and I am grateful. I wanted to reach out to you and just check in and see how everyone was doing, just let you know that I was thinking about you. We are in the middle of week 2, and this week we are focusing on the virtue of kindness and goodness. And I just wanted to ask or reiterate that virtue to you and just ask what you felt that meant to you. Oftentimes when we think about kindness and goodness, we think about someone that has really made an impact in our lives. And oftentimes we think about those who do something like an act of service or who give us words of affirmation that make us feel loved. And so I just wanted to talk to you just briefly about the words kindness and goodness and have you do some self-reflection on what that means to you. Today on campus, it was known as Assessment Day. And on Assessment Day, we gather everyone, students from all programs, and even at the master's level, we did conducted some assessment on our program. And when we conduct assessment, it's kind of like a self-reflection. When we are willing to ask questions to those people who are in our program and other faculty about our program, then we're opening ourselves up. We're opening ourselves up to some vulnerability, right? Asking folks, how do they feel about your program? What are the things you like and what are the things you dislike? And I couldn't help but think about our virtue this week as we were focusing on assessment and assessing our program. I was thinking about kindness and goodness, and I was thinking, do people think I am kind? Do people think I am good? And how would they define that? How would I know if they thought I was kind? How do I show someone kindness? So I think it's important, as we at the university value assessment, we spent the entire day assessing, looking for opinions, and trying to determine if those in our program enjoy it, feel it's meeting their needs and preparing them. Do we do that to ourselves? Do we assess ourselves? And if so, how do we do that? Do we open ourselves up for self-reflection? Do we ask others for input? I think as Christian brothers and sisters, we should conduct some sort of self-reflection and ask ourselves, when I communicate with someone, do I show them kindness and goodness like Christ did to the woman at the well that day? What do people see in me? How do I communicate with them? Is it a way of showing them kindness and goodness? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. But I think it's important that we ask ourselves those questions and maybe try to make a list. What do I do? What are some tangible examples of how I show kindness to one another? Do I give compliments? Do I make eye contact? How do you feel that someone's being kind to you? Is it the look on their face? Is it a smile? What is it to you that makes you feel someone is kind and good to you? I would ask yourself the same questions. What do I need to do? Maybe a little bit more. I know that the faculty I work with really value having handwritten notes. And in a society that we're in today, it's very digital. We're electronic and everything is a short email. So I really have to remind myself that they appreciate the handwritten note as opposed to the electronic card or the short email. So I'm not perfect at this, but I do try to sit down and write a handwritten note to them. It does require more time and effort, but I do put a lot of thought into it, and they appreciate that. So that's just one way that I am working towards showing my kindness to those colleagues that I work with. What are some ways that you can think about that you can show kindness and goodness to one another? I think they're hard words to define. If you had to write a definition of what kindness and goodness meant, you might struggle. But I think if you thought about what it means to you, how do you know someone's being good to you or kind to you? I certainly think you could think of the opposite. So this week I challenge you, do a little self-reflection, write some notes. I sometimes at the most random moments, I just pull out a slip of paper and I say, okay, what do I do that makes someone feel kind? What do I do that makes someone feel good? Again, your children are always going to be very honest with you. So you can ask them, and they may tell you what you don't do or what you do that makes them not feel that way, or they may be able to give you those positive ways that you make them, that they think you're kind and good to them. I love kids because they don't filter, and sometimes we need that unfiltered, honest opinion. All right, I'm thinking about you. I'm going to spend the next couple days. This week has been full of meetings, so I haven't had a lot of time to look at Gradebook, but I am going to spend the next few days. I'll make sure I have those returned to you by Sunday night, but hopefully sooner than that. I'm going to try to steal away and just focus on master's level grading over the next couple days. But know that I'm praying for you. I hope you feel that you are loved most of all by the Lord and by me, and I'm grateful to have you. And I hope you're having a great week. If there's anything I can do, please let me know. If I can pray for you very specifically, you know that I'm happy to do that. Until next Wednesday, I hope you have a great rest of the week. Take care.